This is my Sunday rant as I'm walking through the parking lot at the park. Jasper walks in the snow and he gets balls of snow in his feet and he can't walk, so I walk him on the pavement. Anyways, just thinking about the whole Hal Lindsey thing and kind of disturbed some people about that. Just wanted to bring some things out that I've noticed about that. And, Hal Lindsey was apparently a good guy, taught the Bible, believed the gospel, etc. But, like I've said, he prophesied something that didn't happen. He said that because of the Israel becoming a nation in 1948, that like he said in Matthew 24, that in that generation all of these things would be fulfilled. And so he believed that generation began in 1948 when Israel became a nation. And that in 1988, a generation later, or around that's when his return would be. And therefore, 7 years before that would be the beginning of the tribulation. And this was, I think, in 1971. And I remember when all that was happening and the book was out, and I had a negative feeling about it. I wasn't excited because nobody knows when he's coming. That's how I felt. This wasn't even a preterist issue. It was just nobody knows, and he's saying we know. And so here's what I saw, though, looking at this again. Jesus was with some disciples, and they were glorifying the temple. Gee, look at these buildings. Or Jesus, look at these buildings. And aren't they amazing? He said, yeah, it's all coming down. Not one stone be left on another. And so they asked him, wow, oh, when's this going to happen? And when's the end of the age going to be? And I think they kind of obviously equated the two, that the coming down to the temple would be the end of the age, because that's a huge deal. The temple had come down hundreds and hundreds of years before, and it was rebuilt. That was a pretty big change. They were in captivity for a long time. And so they knew this was a big, big deal. And they equated it to the end of the age. And what was the first thing Jesus said in his answer to that? When's this going to happen? He said, watch out that you don't get deceived or misled or led astray. Different translations, they're all basically saying the same thing. Watch out. Watch out. This is a spicy topic. This is one that people will lead you astray with. Be careful. He was telling his own guys that walked with him, the closest to him, his choice of disciples, to be careful not to be misled themselves. And so whenever it comes to the end times, that's what I noticed. That is one topic that people have feelings about, that people get enthused and excited about. It's a very excitable topic, and therefore easily misled, because you begin speculating. Okay, is this it? We see it here, we see it there. Could this be it? And he said, this is it. And he was wrong. That's all. He was wrong. I just don't hear anybody pointing out the fact that he was wrong. We feel so good about the topic itself. Jesus is coming. When it was actually more of a judgment call than a Jesus is coming. It was a judgment call. He was coming to judge the world. But people get so excited, and it creates such a feel-good that it doesn't even matter that he was wrong. We didn't hear anything about any refutation of it, or, a book writing, hey, gee, I guess I was wrong. Maybe it'll be then, but I missed it. And we don't even think about it. People haven't even said anything about it. You guys didn't say anything about it. All you said was he passed away, and hadn't even considered that what he told the world. I mean, he was a big voice, a major voice. 35 or 40 million books were sold. That should have been acknowledged. Should have looked at that. That's one of the things that is highly deceivable, is getting people excited about stuff and misleading them. They were misled. So that's my point. That's my rant this morning. Believe Scripture and watch out for error. I was wrong about the covenant movement. The covenant movement, they had a lot of good stuff. They were good people, and they kind of brought discipleship into the church arena. And more modern Christian music came in then too. But the covenant movement ended. We all believed wholeheartedly in this, and were led to make relationships with people that we would walk with for the rest of our lives as in covenant. And this was our basis, our foundation. And people had covenants, and I walked with people that I was supposedly going to walk with the rest of my life. And it was good to have accountability and to have good relationship that we could discuss things and all of that. However, all of a sudden it ended. The 5 foundational guys that were the head of the whole thing separated. End of movement. And at our church, they just simply said, okay, they've done this, now we're going to set that behind us and move on. That was it. That was more than I could handle, because they just didn't really give any accounting for even say where they were at anymore. And I don't think that was right. We left the church and the movement. That was it. We went down to Ray's church, who was also in that movement, but he acknowledged the error and pointed out its faults and failures. And that's what we need to do. Look honestly at things. Try not to be offended about things, but accept the honest truth about things. Over and out.